Enculturation is the process of building in responsivity and ultimately responsibility, the ability to respond to a particular call. And we then have appropriately enculturated ourselves when we can respond to our own culture and to our own values and to our own needs. One other thing here then, as we rapidly bring these things to a close, we have to look at personality in this light as well. We think our personality is ours. You must recognize, ladies and gentlemen, that the human being is a social animal. We exist in society. We exist in groups. We are born dependent, not independent. We have long periods of dependency. And it is the social relationship between ourselves and our mothers and ourselves and our group that protects us during our long periods of dependency. And in a sense, we never quite get over our dependency and need for one another.
My people, oh, my people, the sit-ins and the boycotts of work, we are ahead in the polls.
Don't count your chickens before they come home to roost.
Oh, somebody bring me some milk, because he come a big Oreo.
Yes, yes. Give him a chance. We are ahead in the polls. But who knows how these people will vote in the privacy of their own homes.
Oh, sit down, Tom.
I am well aware of how I am perceived, but now is not the time for our petty squabbling. Now, this came to me this morning. In order to ensure victory, we must stop resisting the offer and urge the country to accept the traitors' proposition. The major motivation for racism in this country is the deeply held belief that black people should not have anything that white people don't. Not only do whites insist on better jobs, higher incomes, better neighborhoods, better schools, but they leap to gobble up our language, our dress, our music, and our dance. Therefore, I propose that from now until the polls open this evening, we circulate the rumor that the aliens have arranged for our transport to the wealthiest and most beautiful utopia in the known universe. White folks will go ape, wondering what we will encounter in this new land. They will gnash their teeth. They will even argue that to limit the space traders' offer to blacks is an unconstitutional discrimination against whites.
I cannot stand here any longer and be influenced by a man who has dedicated his entire life to sabotaging his own people. Now is not the time for trickery and tomfoolery. My people were brought here involuntarily, and involuntarily is the only way they're gonna take me out. Yes.
People without power must use cunning and guile.
Yes, Lord.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. I'm sorry about that, Cassandra. How you doing today?
I am good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Hey, your mic is going in and out for a second. But I'm not sure
Okay,
what's
I'm
going on.
trying to see. Do I need to? Is that better?
Yeah. Say something. I don't know.
Okay, I
I
think I'm gonna
can't.
close some windows on my computer. Okay, get too many windows open.
What's going on, Raw? Shouts out to Raw in the building.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, yeah, it's much better. I think you're good now.
Hey,
But yeah, how
Rob.
you doing today?
Okay,
All right,
I'm
yeah, you.
good. I'm good. Everything is good.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, today's gonna be another good one. Consider you know how we do. Um, and there's a lot of stuff that we gotta talk about. And we're gonna try to end with something positive, and we're gonna try to stay focused and on topic because when we talk about the things that need to be talked about, uh, it is what it is. But we're gonna keep going with this because I think that we've been doing great things, and you always are great on here. So I appreciate you coming on here, every week. So I just want to say that.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. It's just a pleasure to come on here just to talk to our people. And everybody's not gonna agree, and that's okay because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And we just go with the ones that's ready to do the work, and the ones that want to argue, we're not gonna worry with them. We're just gonna keep moving forward. That's all. That's what it's about. Because we're not gonna get everybody, and it's okay.
Yeah. So all right, and today this one may make you a little bit mad today though, consider but it's something that we got to talk about. So we're gonna go right into it. And I'll play this one first. And this is one you sent me because just to set it up right.
You people. You're not a race.
That's
You
my
are
favorite.
a virus.
Mhm.
You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us.
Uh-oh.
Hope that happens
Real soon.
very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Like
And
tomorrow.
right. And the thing
I
is,
love
right,
it.
and I can because this is what we're gonna talk about. Like,
Yeah.
could you actually even like instead of just hoping about a virus comes along, that you make sure that some kind of virus comes along very soon.
Yes.
But
They make sure they come along, don't they?
they sure do. So listen to this one.
Do you realize that the most racist scientific community ever were 19th century anthropologists? They're the ones that set up the race and the this, and white male humans were at the top of the evolutionary ladder, and blacks and everybody else were lower, still evolving, closer to the apes, and all of this. This was going on for coming out of the 18th century into the 19th century. My point is, in the 1990s, now that we can do genetic tracking and things,
Okay.
now we do genetic tracking,
Yeah.
the world found out that Europeans are between 1% and 3% Neanderthal genetically,
and Africans are 0% Neanderthal. So in the 1990s, research papers started coming out talking about.
All right, so you hear that, Cassidra?
Ain't that something?
You can't reason with a psychopath. That's the first thing that I would like Black people to understand. But for like hundreds and hundreds of years, we have not understand that you can't reason with a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is one more thing leading up to what we're talking about, because how this is America, as they say, So now this happened a long time ago.
Use kayaks filters.
I want you to hear this story about what happened to this brother, but this brother stood up for himself at the same time. But
Anthony Crawford. Oh, the day a white man hits me, in freedom, history, and a hero, we should know. The day a white man hits me is the day I die. Those are the words of the brave Anthony Crawford, one of the most richest.
All right, so my bad. I'm gonna start it one more time, y'all, just so I can see.
And a hero, we should know. The day a white. Black American freedom, history, and a hero, we should know. The day a white man hits me is the day I die. Those are the words of the brave Anthony Crawford, one of the most richest Black men in Abbeville, South Carolina. Unfortunately, this would become his fate during Jim Crow. Here is his backstory. Anthony Crawford owned 427 acres of land in Abbeville, South Carolina. Now, he lived on the land with his wife, all 13 of his children, as well as their spouse. He supported them all by selling the cotton, watermelon, syrup, and more, all produced by his land. Now, he also built a school for Black students, a Black community church, as well as helped many local Black farmers start their.
Now, he did, you heard all the stuff that he did back then, you know what I'm saying, what this brother was doing. And this is like later on, after we talk about what we talk about, I want to go back to that because, that's what we was talking about last week, where Black people was building their own. Because I know that we have a lot of fear, like, oh, you want to go to this and that. Like, Black people was just like scared to go outside, but like they actually had more courage then. Like in the 1800s and all that stuff back then, they actually had more courage than we do today. So I understand why today we got soft, you know what I'm saying? We got, you didn't been able to get your white girls and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, at that time, when they knew that they had no other choice, they used to listen to all the stuff that this brother did. So us today, including me and everybody, all of us, have no excuse right now.
He supported them all by selling the cotton, watermelon, syrup, and more, all produced 427 acres of land in Abbeville, South Carolina. Jim Crow. Here is his backstory. Anthony Crawford owned 427 acres of land in Abbeville, South Carolina. Now, he lived on the land with his wife, all 13 of his children, as well as their spouse. He supported them all by selling the cotton, watermelon, syrup, and more, all produced by his land. Now, he also built a school for Black students, a Black community church, as well as helped many local Black farmers start their own farm in Abbeville. While kind, he was also known for his zero tolerance of disrespect. This side of him would show in October 1916 when Crawford loaded up loads of cotton from his farm and headed to a local store for an offer for it. Now, he ended up having a disagreement because of a lowball offer. Now, during Jim Crow, successful Black people were not only seen as a threat, but arguing with whites was even more dangerous. Now, after the disagreement, one of the store employees followed him out of the store and struck him with an axe. The police were called and Crawford was arrested for cursing at a white person. He was held in jail briefly, but was later released.
Now, listen to that. He got hit with an axe and he got arrested for quote unquote cursing.
Ain't that what happened to our baby that was fighting at that school? The guy pulled a knife on him. He defended himself and went to jail. Same stuff. It's not changing. So when are we going to get tired and separate? That's the only way right now. Period. That's the only way. Because this is not going to stop happening. They're always going to use their laws against us. And that's all they do. That's all. We can never get any. And some people say, well, call the police and get a fair. We will never get a fair trial in their system, ever, with Black folk on the jury. Because our minds are already set that we wrong. Because we got to impress white folk, especially sitting on their jury. Because then you try to go against them. They're going to say, oh, you watching out for your own. Hell yeah. You watch out for yours. I'm going to watch out for mine. Yes, I am. I don't give a damn if I do ever make it on the jury. Whoever will be not guilty. Seriously.
Facts.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Nothing's
And yeah,
changed.
that's why I'm showing this, because that's what we're gonna talk about next.
That's good. Thank you
You
for
see,
that. That's good.
all right, yeah. So I just want you to see, like, because we like, oh, as we going, like, it's nothing is changed. It's the same thing because people exaggerate what it was back then, except for like black people had close-knit communities back then because they understood what it was. It's still the same thing. We just don't have the close-knit communities where we lost the part about the building and owning land and all of that stuff. That's the part we lost. That's what got integrated, not the other stuff. That none of that stuff got integrated, But
on a $15 bail. After he was released, a white mob awaited him and chased him into a nearby cotton mill. He was able to fight off a number of them, but was eventually overpowered by over 200 men.
All right. So I'm gonna stop right there. So you see this?
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm. And by the way, the Hispanic student too. By the way, like let me see.
But that's that Black and Brown coalition, huh? Okay. Yeah. Black and Brown coalition. Okay.
Yeah,
we for some reason the Black and Brown coalition.
Yeah, for some reason we want to have friends so bad. It doesn't make sense at all. But we can't even be each other friends.
And exactly. But guess what? His mom, why you put him in the school like that? You didn't know what he was going through? You didn't know he was being bullied? What'd you think was going to happen?
Right.
So why did he stay in that school? You understand what I'm saying? You're the only Black in that school. Why would you put your son in an only Black, an all white, or all Mexican, all brown, whatever? See, we haven't learned yet. We think, oh, our kid's going to get a better education than being over there with them Black folk. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's not working because they're getting abused. They're getting charges, right? Just like the Black girl who fought the white girl because the white girl was bullying her. She wasn't even supposed to be in school, had gotten suspended already on the same situation and came back and started a fight with the Black girl. Black girl ended up going to jail because she beat that ass because of the simple fact she bullied her. So we can't defend ourselves now? Take your kids out of their school. I don't know what Black folk waiting on. I don't know what white they waiting on white folk to tell them to take them out. What are we waiting for? Right. It's gotten so bad. Every day is something. Every day. I wouldn't want my child to be brought up on no charges because now they done ruined that boy's record. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to put some charges on him for defending himself. Please. Our kids don't need to be around them at all. At all. They come in our school, we good. We don't bother them. We don't harass them. But let us go anywhere near them, their neighborhoods, their schools, their stores. Let us be the only Black around, and we're going to get bullied. We're going to get beat up on. We're going to get punished some kind of way for dealing with them. And that's how it always is. So when are we going to learn to do something different?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, facts. And yeah, like when our children defend themselves and remove a piece of their frontal lobe or whatever it was, then they got a problem with that too.
Exactly.
But
so how can we win? You can't win. You can't fight. You go to jail. You get charges. Then you get beat up. Then you die. So what you want us to do? What do you want us to do? What do we tell our kids? Hey, I know you can't fight. You got to get beat up, baby. You possibly could die, but I love you. What? What is that? What is that? So what do you tell your kids? What do you tell them? You know this baby being bullied. And looked like every time they saw him, they was fighting him. Who wants to go to school like that? And you're the only Black. He had no help. And even if he did have some help, that Black dude wouldn't have helped him because he's too busy trying to get little Spanish Sarah. Or whoever they are.
Maria.
Maria, okay? You feel me? So come on. What are we going to do about this? When are we going to get to the place where we are doing an all-out pull your kids out their school day? Pull your kids out their school day. Pull your kids out their school day. When are we going to do that? We're going to have that, one of them. What's it going to take for us to get tired and be like, you know what? We're going to just have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now rest.
Oh, so all right, my bad. And yeah, it's all facts, So
Tussler, wasn't he?
yeah, and all right, so I don't think I can, but I'll just leave it like this.
You're watching a 14-year-old male student getting jumped and punched.
And by the way, they do always have to jump you because
Yes, they
what I'm
can't never,
saying?
because they punks. They can't never fight you by themselves because they know they're done.
All right. And then this is also why, like, when MG2 come on here and other people come on here talking about being in shape and all that stuff, you want to be in shape as well, for situations. But I agree with Cassidra about with your your candy bar and with the peanuts, But at the same time, you want to be able to defend yourself if necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it don't matter. This is what I'll be trying to tell. It doesn't matter what is going on. You know what I'm saying? In our community, like there is no other choice but we have no friends. We are all we got, and this is why we're probably doomed, But anyway, let me stop talking.
In the boys' bathroom of Verdugo Hills High School in Tahunga in late August. The attorney for the 14-year-old's family says the teen was also repeatedly called racial slurs.
Make no mistake about it. This is a case of racism.
Attorney Brad Gage says after the incident,
he said that was in August, right? August, September, October, November, December. That's 5 months. So they've been messing with this boy. This has been on tape for 5 months and nothing has happened. The school's not done anything. We got to literally get him a record, get almost killed because the boy had the other young man had a knife. So now you're going to bring them up on charges, but it's still moving slow. Why did it take so long to get something done? You understand what I'm saying? Why do you have to fight first? Why do you have to get beat up, half killed before anybody was ready to move? And then still sound like the school ain't ready to do nothing. This is crazy. Why does it take so long for us to get any type of help? And you still gonna go to their judges, and what the judge gonna do? You think he gonna really win this case, even if it's on video? You think he gonna win? Yeah. I highly doubt it. But go ahead.
Yeah.
School held a meeting with the teen's mom, who doesn't want us to use her name for safety reasons.
They didn't care. They didn't do nothing to the other kids, and that's why I'm most upset about. They just sat there and did nothing.
Attorneys for the 14-year-old students say there are very few African-American students here at Verdugo Hills High School. They say almost from the first day of class in August, the teen was targeted by Latino students who called him racial slurs, physically assaulted him, and threatened to stab him.
My son is a good, smart kid, very intelligent.
This mom believes because nothing was done to her son's attackers, the situation escalated to what happened on campus on December 9th. Gage tells us it started on the schoolyard where his client was again thrown to the ground, punched, and called the N-word by two students.
At some point, others that are part of the group or gang, they come and chase our client with a big butcher knife, trying to kill him.
Gage says his client was trying to defend himself when two others ended up getting stabbed. Their injuries were not life-threatening.
So when he defended himself, and two of them got stabbed, apparently. I guess that's what happened.
Right. So why is he in jail? They brought a knife to school. You defending yourself because if from my understanding, the other boy brought the knife, right? If I'm not understanding it right? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so if the black young man didn't bring a knife, the other dude brought a knife. So I'm just gonna let him stab me? What the hell? No, heck no. Now, so if he would have had a gun, what would have happened? The dude got a knife, and if the young black guy had a gun, what would have happened? He was defending himself. The other boy had a knife. He had nothing in his hands. What is he supposed to do? Stand there and get assaulted, get killed? They were meaning him harm. So my thing is, why would you get arrested for that? See, this is why all of this could have been avoided. All of this right here, mom, black folk, all of this could be avoided. Get your children out of their schools, period. Now, don't let another day go by. Don't let another month go by that you have them in those schools. Especially being the only black anything. Period. All right.
Man.
14-year-old. The LAPD tells us he was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Gage filed a government claim, a precursor to a lawsuit against Verdugo Hills High School and the district for failing to protect the 14-year-old. We reached out to LAUSD for a response to the claim, and a spokesperson said Los Angeles Unified does not comment on pending or ongoing litigation.
It's the school's failure to act properly in August and September that led to a stabbing in December.
My son was in a situation where he could have been killed. I still feel like.
And what I'll be trying to tell y'all about them white dudes you think that's on your side, they still like, oh, well, he shouldn't have stabbed him, but such and such and such, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to tell you that's not good enough, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother topic, you know.
Oh,
but,
yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, because they be thinking that's wrong too for you to defend yourself, you know. But at the same time, like when he does, I want you to understand when you do defend yourself, somehow like part of their skull becomes missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now you
it
get
should.
locked up
it
or whatever.
Should.
It should, you know. And the thing is, though, it's the question that you have to have with your children. Would you rather them come home or be dead? You know what I'm saying? Or
Exactly.
you know, you can also, you know, do what you got to do, but that's a whole nother topic. You know?
But why not just take your kids out of the atmosphere? Let's save our kids from all this trauma. This boy has been traumatized for 5 months, being beat up, chased. Because you know he's 14, and you know them dudes was 15, 16, probably four or five of them on him. How he supposed to beat them? They're not gonna stop bullying him because he had no help. But if he was one of them dudes and he had some friends there, shoot, they would have left him alone a long time ago. But you got him in a dangerous situation. This is why I tell you, forecast, we don't love our children. Because my son had to come on and tell me, Mom, look, so-and-so, baby, I got you. I'm going up here. We're going to do what we need to do. But I would have got an attorney a long time ago before the stabbing. But I would have got him out that school, too. I don't have pride. Just like the little young man that had braids and he was fighting the school because they wanted him to cut his braids. Why do my son have to cut his braids? I'm going to sue your ass. But in the meantime, I'm going to take my child out of here. Seriously, because I don't want to traumatize my baby. You allowed your son to be traumatized for 5 months. What parent does that? We have so much pride. We want to make sure I'm not taking him out of school. Why not? Take him out. Put him in another atmosphere where he can thrive. And then you can still sue the school. I rest.
No, facts. And I don't know if I said it. Shouts out to my brother Anthony. I try to keep looking in the back too. So when you pop up, but if I don't see it, just put it in a regular chat, and then I'll look back there. But I'll keep looking and stuff. So I'll show you this. So black teachers. Now this is another high school in California. You know. So let me just play this.
2 black teachers are suing Beverly Hills High for racism, discrimination.
Now, this before that whole thing even happened.
2 black teachers are suing Beverly Hills High for racism, discrimination, harassment, and retaliation.
One of them spoke out at the high school today. Fox 11's Gina Silva has more.
When a school allows racism to flourish, children learn the wrong things.
Attorney Brad Gage points to incidents like these at Beverly Hills High School, where students film themselves.
What the?
In this one, the teen shows feces on the floor, then walks over to show a racist comment written on a bathroom.
See, like, why? See, you see how they the Neanderthal behavior? They always got to have some disgusting stuff in the video.
Got some trauma. Always got some trauma, rage, anger with them. Period. Always something with these people. Are we tired of it? Yet get your degree and get away from them and open your own schools. Teachers, why are you putting up with this craziness? We will get I keep telling, we'll get our degrees and then go and try to work with them. You know, it was already hard enough. That's why we was talking about black doctors today, right? And I have a friend that, you know, a girlfriend, she's really cool. And her boyfriend's a medical student, right? He's black Nigerian. He's sitting up there. He said, he going through so much hell. She's black, right? She said, Cassie, he's going through so much hell at this school that he's questioning if he needs to continue. They are riding this boy so bad that he comes literally just like, I don't want to do this. Maybe this is not. So this is why this is the problem with Black doctors, why you don't see them, because they get rid of them before they get out into, before they can get out of medical school. That's why we don't have that many Black doctors, because of the racism. And if they was really honest and really told the story and really put the news on them and the light on these schools, I'm telling you, I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've seen it where you got teachers that making it super hard for Black students, and and the white students be skating. Because I've seen it. I've heard it. You understand what I'm saying? But my thing is, when you get these degrees, why are you trying to go and work for them? Why are you trying to go and work up under them? Why are you not coming together and opening up your own schools?
Right.
He never told us to come together with them. Deuteronomy said so. 7 tells us not to. He never told us to come together with them. This is why we're still at the bottom. If we had never come together with them, we could have built up our own hospitals. We had our own. We had our ancestors gave us a leg up, right? They gave us our own hospitals. They gave us our own schools. We had our own land. We had our own houses. We had our own mom and pop shops. Why couldn't we invest in what we had and grow that? You understand what I'm saying? Instead of coming back, you're going to leave all of what they built for you, and you're going to leave it, lose it, and come back over across the tracks. Why? Why would you do that? You know what you came from. Why would you go back to it? That's just the stupidest thing to me. Like children of Israel, I'm going back. I'm just too hard out here. I'm going back. I want to be slaves. It wasn't that hard back there. Yeah, they beat the hell out of us. Yeah, but it wasn't that hard. We ate every day. Oh my God, really? Okay, I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna try to let you get through with this. Go ahead. I'm gonna try.
No, you good. You good. All right, so yeah.
Bathroom wall. Here, 2 girls posted this video.
Let's take a minute to appreciate how nice, beautiful, and clean our cafeteria looks right now. Now, let's fast forward to lunch.
You can see Black students eating in the cafeteria. The girls come back on camera to say,
"This is disgusting."
Oh no, not the precious white bitches that they love so much. You see, it doesn't matter what age they are, and then they get mad at me because I'd be like, I take away. I don't care how you feel. I'm gonna take away your white saviors, all of them, because they all have that Neanderthal DNA. It might be just the DNA. It's just in their DNA. You know what I'm saying? There are no good ones.
They can never get away from that war, that caveman mentality. They can never get away from that violence. That's who they are. It'll never change. It'll never change. It's in their DNA. It's been in their DNA, and they cannot be delivered from it because of who they are and whose they belong to. People don't understand that those are Satan's children. He created those. Those are not God's nothing. Those are not Yahshua's nothing. Those are Satan's seeds, who comes to kill, steal, and destroy. We don't understand that yet. What's it going to take for us to get it? Go ahead.
I'm repulsed.
It is clear what it signifies, and that is this cafeteria in their mind is somehow disgusting or dirty simply because there are Black people eating there. That is the epitome of racism.
And what punishment did those young ladies get for doing that? See what I'm saying? See, they do shit, and then they don't get no repercussions from it, so they keep doing it. No, we're not putting up with that. No. They should have been suspended because of what they did, and nothing happened to them. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Mob of kids, just so many kids outside my door.
On Election Day, a group of students with MAGA hats and a Trump flag roamed down the hallway of Beverly Hills High School.
I'm going to tell you how scary it was.
Teacher Bella Ivory says the group of students tried to enter her classroom where there were several Black students.
Some of the students were shouting, Kamala, as they walked down the hallway. The profanity towards our vice president, who is part Black, combined with students congregating in front of my classroom, increased my fears and also the students' fears who were locked inside that room with me.
Bella's attorney has filed a formal complaint with the Beverly.
What was the principal? Is there a principal at this school? Who's running the school? The students? Look like the students are running the school to me. Where's the principal? Where's the assistant principal? Where is the security? You got security at black schools, but you don't have no security at their school. Why? See how they act?
The security probably joined in with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the security probably was behind them, right
didn't
there.
have no security at the white schools. They probably don't have no security at their school.
Well, yeah, no,
not
so. Yeah, not
they
like
ain't
that.
got
Not like
no thing you walk through. That's how them killers coming in there with them guns, because they don't have no metal detectors like they have the black schools. They don't have no security, and obviously they don't have no principal that even cares to walk the hallways, because they could just walk around with Trump signs. What the hell? What we doing here? Ain't no political. What? What are we doing? You walking around with a Trump sign? What? Lord have mercy. Go ahead. This is crazy.
All right,
This is
so
crazy.
now check this one out though. All right.
For the first time, we are hearing from the family of a 16-year-old shot and killed during a Mobile police SWAT raid. The boy's mother has filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Mobile, and as WKRG News 5 Asher Red reports, the family says the teen's death could have been prevented.
It's been over a year since Janisa Jessum's brother was killed by Mobile police.
We stay hurt every minute of every day.
In November of 2023, the Mobile police SWAT team raided a home on Sheringham Drive over suspected drug activity. They were looking for 18-year-old D'Angelo Jessum. Instead, they found 16-year-old Randall Jessum.
He just loving and kind and protective of the family.
He had a laser-sighted handgun when police busted through the front door before sunrise.
They were doing this at 5:30 in the morning, which means there wouldn't have been anyone to answer the door if they had knocked, but they didn't do that.
Elizabeth Bailey.
So, like, pretty much, I want you to see how slick the news dudes tried to put in there. Oh, well, he had a laser-sighted hand, blah, 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 trying to justify,
At 5 o'clock in the morning, what the hell?
Right. No,
was he even up?
No, he was asleep. Nobody was up. They didn't announce themselves.
So why would he even say that? He had a handheld. Was he upholding it, or what are you trying to say? Put that back. Hold on. Go back with that one. So the young man was asleep, right? Nobody was woke. Nobody was up. Nobody was walking around. So he made it sound like the little boy was standing up at the door with a gun in his hand. But it doesn't matter. That's my home at 5 in the morning. I'm protecting my home because it sounds like burglars are coming in. So I have a God-given right to protect my safety and to protect me if you coming through my front door and I didn't invite you in. So what are you trying to say? Go ahead. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
That's
because
crazy.
that's
like,
how they do.
To that, I'm like, what do you mean? 5 in the morning? Who's up? Nobody's up at 5:30 in the morning, especially not on teenagers.
Right. Yeah, and that's how they and that's why I'm saying, like, that's what the news does when, as far as like presenting, you got to listen to like everything. They'll throw some slick stuff in there just on the side, you know.
Sighted handgun when police busted through the front door before sunrise.
They were doing this at 5:30 in the morning, which means there wouldn't have been anyone to answer the door if they had knocked, but they didn't do that.
Elizabeth Bailey is representing the Jessum family in court, and she says officers briefly announced themselves once, but it was too late.
It is simultaneous or slightly after the door is broken down that the police.
And by the way, when they say that, when they say police announced, they said police claim they announced themselves. That's what they say they did.
They probably did announce nothing.
Yeah, they could say, "Oh, police," and then you don't hear nothing and be like, "Oh, we announced
Who's gonna hear? But I'm in the bed. If I'm in the back room, if I'm in the back, you hollering police, but I hear my door coming open.
Right.
I didn't hear police if I'm in the back room sleeping. Exactly. I missed that. So if I get up, start shooting, I'm asleep. I'm thinking it's a burglar. Somebody's coming to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going. That's all I know.
And I know a lot of people probably know, but like when you say, like, you know, when they be saying, well, witnesses say, you know, that the other police will be used as the witnesses, even though they was also involved. But when they say witnesses, they could be talking about other cops too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I keep that in mind, you know, even though I don't know if they say nothing about witnesses or not, but that's the same thing, because they could say, as them saying, oh, well, we said it was no knock. They didn't now it's just a fact, you know what I'm saying? So it may not be true though, but they're presenting it as if it's true. And even if they did it, it would be some like technical stuff where they'll say it like while the door is closed and nobody can hear it. And well, we announced ourselves, and then it's not,
Yeah, but
you know.
who heard you? They did that with
Exactly.
Breonna Taylor, remember? They were asleep in the bed. Time they announced themselves. Who heard it? All they heard was somebody coming through the front door. And what's his name shot because he thought it was a burglar. And then they called 911. So why would, if I knew that there was police coming in my house, why would I call 911? Because I didn't know. Because it was the middle of the night. Because I was asleep when you hollered police. If you even announced yourself, I don't even think they announced themselves with Breonna Taylor. So nobody even knew. So no, that's not good enough. You can't come. Why is it that you have to come in the middle of the night like that? You waking everybody up. So I'm cold. You don't even know what's going on. You just like, oh my God, what's going on? Who coming in the house? What? It's so much confusion that you really don't know anything because you've been waking up out of a sleep. So with those raids like that, they got to do better. They have to do better or something. I don't know how they're gonna fix that, but that needs to be fixed immediately. Yeah. And the guy that they killed wasn't even the person they was looking for. It didn't sound like.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
oh my goodness. Oh Lord.
Yeah, so that's yeah.
So when do we see them do this to white boys? When do they come inside of white boys? And they have the most drugs. I've seen it on these campuses. Okay. So when have we ever seen this being done to white boys? You just do this in the black neighborhood? You don't do this to white boys? Really? So when are we going to talk about that? The injustice system in the black neighborhood. How they coming through the doors like this on black folk, but never doing white folk. So they don't have drugs. And we know they do. So why don't we ever see any of this activity in their neighborhoods? That's discrimination. That's got to be some kind of lawsuit. Where are our attorneys to file these lawsuits when they see stuff like this happening? Where are our attorneys?
Well, yeah, and to have attorney, we gotta produce them from a young age, not these like Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt dudes.
Exactly. They need to be birthed. Yes, they need to be birthed. This is your job. When you get grown, you're going to be a civil rights attorney, and you're going to file as many lawsuits. You're going to file as many, and we will protect you because he's going to have to be protected, especially like with the Crump man. I mean, what's the Johnny Cochran, right? You ain't going to tell me they didn't kill that man with a heart attack. You ain't going to tell me because they got that drug out. You are not going to tell me that they didn't do that. Yeah. I'll rest my case.
Door is broken down that the police announce their presence. This is, by all purposes, a no-knock warrant.
The lawsuit alleges that only 38 seconds had elapsed from the time that officers surrounded the home to the time they breached the front door. Only 11 seconds later, the lawsuit says Jessom was shot 4 times by an officer who spotted a gun in his hands. Bailey, whose team has watched the body.
So he must have been sleeping with the gun in his hand, like. From what they were saying, because it was less than a minute.
Jumped up and grabbed it because he probably had it by his bed.
I don't know, but that was like less than a minute though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That was pretty fast, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe nothing they. You don't believe nothing they say. I don't believe nothing they say.
Right. Oh yeah, let me
Nothing. The footage of the raid says Jessom put his hands up and took a step back when he realized that the people entering his home were the police.
That if you're doing a pre-dawn, no-knock warrant execution, that you are raising the stakes. And that is a more dangerous situation than it would be if it were a daytime knock and announce warrant execution.
4 minutes after the shooting, the lawsuit says officers dressed Jessom's wounds. And despite a hospital being just 8 minutes away, the lawsuit says it took 40 minutes for Jessom to get to the hospital. Meanwhile, Jessom's 2 minor sisters, older sister, aunt, and grandmother were detained in the kitchen with no sign of the teenager.
They were held in the kitchen without cause, without knowing that their son, brother, grandson was dying in the hallway just, feet away.
Jessom's death proved to be pivotal in changing Mobile police policy. Just hours after the raid, Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimson placed an immediate ban on pre-dawn and no-knock raids.
Him growing up, he would want to make a change in the community for the better. but I wouldn't think it would be something like this.
Jessom had ambitions to own a landscaping company after his graduation from Davidson High School. His family says the teen would spend his weekends cutting grass for everyone on the block. Meanwhile, both the city and the police department say they cannot comment on pending litigation. In Mobile, I'm Asher Red.
All right. Yeah.
Of course, they can't comment on what. So, why the mayor didn't do this before this happened? It was already a ban. It should have been a ban nationwide on no-knock warrants. Period. So, you mean to tell me you have a no-knock warrant, but you announce yourself? They didn't announce themselves. Did you just hear that? How are you announcing yourself when you have a no-knock warrant? That means I don't have to announce myself, right?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Or they have to announce themselves, but it's not like it's like I said, it's just like it's not nothing technical like where they have to be like, hey, this is the police, so you got 5 minutes to
So if you have a no-knock warrant, that means I'm coming in. I don't have to. I don't have to say anything. I'm just coming in.
Yeah, they
so
have
they
to.
didn't announce it. Huh?
Yeah. No, I don't think they did, but like it's like a loophole they can do where like they can just like you said, like you don't know that they're saying it. You can't hear them. You sleep.
They
You know
not.
what I'm saying?
It's
like
like, but that should have been
like some
that
BS
should have been
that they
across
say.
the board. That should
Right.
have been across the board. No-knock warrants across globally. You ain't coming to somebody's house in the middle of the night and not expect to have some activity.
Mm-hmm.
And that baby
I agree
died
with
for
you.
no reason because you coming in somebody's house at 4 a.m, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, he
Crazy.
was just 16, so RP to this young brother. And
Mm.
one of the first videos I did is young sister Ayala Jones. She was like 6 years old. Police
Yes, I
ran up in
remember.
the
Yeah, and it was the wrong house. Wasn't even the right house.
Yeah.
And she was on the couch, wasn't she? And he shot her.
Sleeping,
Yep,
yes.
grandma. Then
Yeah,
told
sleeping
grandma
on the
not to
couch.
move. You can't even go to her. Shit, I'd have got shot that day, honey. Because I'd have went up there. I'd have had my baby in her hand. Seriously, that's crazy. And the cop and the black judge, it was a black woman judge who let him off. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A black woman judge who let the police officer off. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now they should have showed up at her house.
Thanks. All right, so let me go to the next one.
Prison guards, you've seen it, caught fatally beating a black male. They avoid arrest. I'm going to remind you of what you have likely already seen. It is horrific.
I can't take that. That's crazy.
As you can see, the individual they are attacking has absolutely no way of defending himself.
Look at him. He got his foot way up there. Why you? What? What is that? They hitting him up. I can't take this. This is crazy. Let me just shut up.
The reason why there's a lack of audio is because the officers did not turn on their recording devices. That is called standby mode. What you're looking at is an automatic standby mode of recording. It is only because of that standby mode we have a video of this beating, this brutal assault, this murder. The New York prison officers who are shown ruthlessly beating to death an incarcerated 43-year-old Robert Brooks, who was handcuffed and strapped face down on a gurney earlier this month, have not been arrested more than 2 weeks after the fatal incident.
Why it's taking so long?
Footage of Robert Brooks being fatally beaten was made public on Friday by the New York Attorney General's office nearly 3 weeks after the incident at the Mercy Correctional Facility on December 10th. The New York Times reported that 12 people involved, 12.
12 on 1, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody has.
As of Friday,
they always got to jump you. Right.
Remember the 5 officers that killed the black dude, the 5 black officers? They was arrested like what, 2-3 days later, right? 2 days later?
Oh yeah.
So why is it taking a month for these? I'm not understanding.
Well, yeah, they're not
It's
getting
almost a
arrested
month.
at all.
The 10th will be a month.
Yeah.
They're not getting arrested?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not. Well,
Crazy.
well, people gonna protest now until they do something, but it's the same thing over and over.
They should be burning some shit down. That jail should be burned to the ground. Seriously. This don't make no sense. You mean they killed them 5 officers who killed a person, and these killed the man, and they're not going to get arrested? What do you mean? Why? I don't understand. Is it because of that law? You can't discipline. Why you discipline a slave? If you kill them, you can't come up on felony charges. Remember that charge? Remember that law that they had on the books? It's still on the
Yeah.
books. We're looking at it now. We're looking at it. They'll tell you it's been taken off the books, but it's not, because I'm looking at it. You're standing behind that law. And that was a law that started in Virginia. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me see.
Sergeant Michael Mashaw and Glenn Trumbley, officers Matthew Gallagher, Nicholas Anzalone, David Kingsley, Robert Kessler, Michael Fisher, Christopher Walrath, Michael Along, Shia Scoff, and David Walters, along with the nurse, Kyle Danshaw, have not only remained gainfully employed, but also free of any criminal charges for their alleged actions. All of the prison officers involved are white men. Let me say that again. All of the prison officers involved are white men. It was not immediately clear why the beating took place. The New York Times offered an explanation.
Doesn't matter. It shouldn't have taken place.
Not
Doesn't matter.
Fired and reported that the state's police union.
So and considering that's the thing, we be like, oh, we need to get this and that. We like, well, they need to have body camera. It don't matter. So what?
It doesn't matter.
They got
You have a
camera.
whole body camera and they still not going to jail. Why were they not brought up on charges? And why are they still working? And why are they not in jail? That's what I need to know. But those 5 officers, they got them arrested, got them brought up on charges within 2 days. If I'm not mistaken, it was like within that week. So you mean to tell me these people are still working in the jail? And Pookie and Ray Ray handled the business with them? Come on, don't even let them come out to jail. And then they need to lock them up in the same jail that they beat this man in. Because somebody said they sodomized him too. I don't know. But they sure looked like they was doing some damage over there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
That's
Like
right.
that Neanderthal stuff is like gay stuff.
They need some charges. I don't understand what they're going to take. Now, this is a black woman in DC, right? It's a black woman, DA, right? Why is she not bringing them up on charges? That's who we need to pay some attention to. Her. Go ahead.
All right, so I want to play some of this one.
Well, a lot of people are calling it modern slavery. Does that feel right?
I was just about to say, that's slavery. That's slavery. You took away the whips, but you put the paperwork. Took away the masters and you put them in uniform. Same difference. Same.
And by the way, paperwork does just as much damage to Negroes as a whip would today. It's crazy.
It kind of appears that there is a coordinated system in order to protect the labor that's created by the prison system.
Walk into a McDonald's in Alabama, and the worker flipping your McDouble could be an incarcerated person.
It's a sad situation of where they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up for parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because I got free, because you're getting free service.
This is a story about corporations and the state of Alabama exploiting prison labor and the coercive policies they use to keep its citizens trapped in servitude.
It doesn't work. It's a terrible system.
If you're wondering,
I want you to hear just a few parts of this, Cassidra. I can't play the whole thing.
I ran their kitchen by myself from 8 to 5 every Thursday, Tuesday through Thursday. Wow.
Yeah, that sounds like hard work.
It was.
Elizabeth Thomas was in the Alabama Work Release Program for 5 of her 15 years in prison.
So they had a combination of incarcerated people and free world people.
Yes.
Did you feel like there was a difference how they treated?
Oh, most definitely. We work longer hours.
Make the work release work over, work extra days, don't want to give you off days. Like, no, I got to eat my health. I have to get rest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a machine. But that's how they look at you, like.
This is Quincy Sanders. During his nearly 17 years
and then you won't even harm when they come out of jail.
A lumber yard and McDonald's.
Like working a real job and trying to stay being incarcerated.
Exactly.
It's a very hard experience. You have to be mind strong, really.
Alabama has one of the most overcrowded and deadly prison systems in the United States. Even the Justice Department found conditions there to be unconstitutional. In 2023, almost a person a day died in Alabama prisons, which is almost 5 times the national average.
Or they might get beat to death. People beating folks with sticks. They breaking broomsticks, making little billy clubs. People in there stabbing each other. People in there doing drugs. People in there almost about to die. They're not giving you no nursing assistance. The nurse probably get there, you probably be dead.
But
and I'm
without prison supervision, and if they join the work release program, they get to live in special facilities that are generally much less dangerous than regular prisons. They spend their days working in the free world without prison supervision, and they can earn 72-hour passes to visit their families at home.
If you go out here and you do the right thing, you get to elevate, you get to grow, you get out of this facility. But you know what you didn't tell me is that you finna get all my money. That's what they didn't tell you.
The state takes a 40% cut of every incarcerated worker's wages off the top, before taxes, plus an additional $5 a day for van rides to and from work, $15 a month for laundry, and then any restitution and court fees.
If your check is $636, you might see two something out of that. And that's every 2 weeks. And you done work 80 hours and only seen $200. Like it makes you lose motivation. Cause you know money motivates people, especially working. So it kind of makes you lose motivation.
One estimate calculated that the state of Alabama enjoys a benefit of more than $450 million a year off of prison labor.
And it's slavery all the way around the board, just slavery.
And unlike free world workers, incarcerated workers can't just get a shift covered or quit.
ADOC has a list of rules that all incarcerated people are expected to abide by. Rules like don't have contraband, be in your bunk at the required time, and rules like don't refuse to work. That's a rule on the books.
CJ Sandley is one of the attorneys behind a
Don't
recent
refuse to
lawsuit
work,
filed
Cassandra.
against ADOC.
The range of punishments folks can face if they get written up for refusing to work include solitary confinement, losing access to phones, tablets, visitation, access to their families and loved ones for like 30 days, 60 days, being required to do more work inside the prison walls for free under threat of punishment.
I want to talk to my family. I want to be a part of my family. And you're telling me that if I don't go and do what you want me to do at these jobs, work as hard as they want me to do, if they need me 7 days, you want me to go there 7 days. If they need me 80 hours, you want me to work 80 hours. If they want me to turn around and come back and do a double, you want me to get up and you want me to be available to do all this. But if I decide I'm tired, Lord forbid if we got sick.
I talked to Reginald Burrell, who was injured when an entertainment center fell on his head at the private furniture manufacturing company where he worked through ADOC. When he spoke up about it, he was fired.
And, I confronted the JPO about it, and they shipped me to Shieldsburg with extra duty, taking away my privileges, and I ended up in a landfill. I just got assaulted and mistreated at this job, and now I'm ended in a landfill working for free for a multi-million-dollar company.
One of the most valuable things in the system.
All right, so yeah, what you think about that, Cassidra? And y'all can watch the rest.
Ooh, that is crazy. Why is this not being addressed? Why is more attention not on this? Because they went to jail, but who knows what they went to jail for? I guarantee you it was something nonviolent. So you got 15 years for something nonviolent offense. Because it's Alabama and they paying them what, $65, $70 per day per inmate to the state or the prison to the prison.
And check it out.
I'm sorry, they pay what so much to the state.
Now check it out, right? Because when they let them go home for 72 hours, what you think they doing with those beds that they getting paid for having somebody in those beds and having them as prisoners? So they probably getting paid, putting more people in jail for like weekends and stuff like that.
Yep, exactly. That's crazy, man. We need to have more people need to know and understand what's really going on. Because, we worked years back. I worked at CCA and they did their work on the unit. We didn't, they didn't let them out and, work like that. But looks like this is an Alabama thing here, that they got contracts with different companies to, you pay them, but then the prison look like the prison is getting the money.
Yeah.
And what the prison is doing with the money? That makes no sense. What, paying their fines? It sound like they charging them to wash their clothes and charging them to take them back and forth to work. Hey, I'm doing you a favor. Why do I got to pay for me to go to a job that you got me on the outside? Why am I paying for that? Why are you not paying for it? That should be included in that the money that they giving. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. The whole thing is so ridiculous. It makes no sense. I don't think people understand what's really going on here. This is why Harris didn't want to let them people out of prison, but she had them contracts, free labor.
Yeah, with
and
McDonald's.
the judge had to tell her to let them out. Remember?
I mean, yeah, this go on all across the country, and that's why I tell you about how they be shipping prisoners from one place to another, and like they can lease out, like you lose your rights once you become incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? That's another part of this quote unquote, like how they say you're free when you're not, and they can sell you. They can sell you every day. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
Or I guess they have to get you to sign up, like, so like they'll treat you like crap. Like, all right, you can either suffer every day or get in this work program, and then once you get in the work program, you trap. It's like sharecropping.
Yeah.
Wow. So, all right. So
remember the white team who tried to drown the black.
I think we talked about this
friend.
Right?
Yes.
Loosely, was a black child, has now pleaded guilty. Put up the picture full mass. I want to give you the background to this saga that we first brought.
My goodness.
John P. Sherritt, 15-year-old child, has pleaded guilty. 15 years old, pleaded guilty. Trying to drown a 15-year-old black child.
What, he got no jail time?
Yeah,
who
we'll see. I don't know yet.
Considered
probably
the
not much.
White child his friend. He pleaded guilty to charges of attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon in a Massachusetts courtroom. He will be sentenced on the 3rd of February. And because he was charged as a youthful offender, the judge will have the option to sentence him as either an adult or a juvenile under Massachusetts law.
And that's something considered.
Let me give you a reminder of what happened. It took place on
attempted
murder. Attempted murder is not even a felony. He'll not be charged as an adult. But if that boy had been black, he would have been charged as an adult automatically. So you see how the law is? That's why they so deviant, because they never get held accountable for what they do. He should have been charged as an adult because that he did some adult stuff, attempted murder at 15. Who thinks about that at 15? This is how evil they are. And you're not going to tell me those not Satan seeds? Those are Satan seeds.
Yeah. And they put this young dude. What's going on, my brother Anthony? What's going on, bro?
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, how y'all doing?
All right. You wanted to say something, bro?
Yeah, man. First of all, I'd like to say, man, happy Kwanzaa to y'all, man, and happy 2025. I hope everything good with y'all. I know it is. But I just wanted to add on to what you and Cassidra was saying. You know, like we know what Cassidra was talking about the contract, and that's true. But in forecast, like you say, it's not only just right there in Alabama; it's nationwide. Because I know it's down here too. It's because see, some of those prisons are state prisons. They are privatized prisons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where they ran by private groups and things like that. But I know that I looked it up to see how much money that is that prison labor generates. It is $11 billion. $11 billion, man. $11 billion.
Now, where is that $11 billion going? Whose pocket is that money going to?
Yeah, you know.
$11 billion. Where's that money going?
Yeah, and it said also that it said, okay, out of the 11 billion, that like 9 billion supposed to be going like to prison maintenance, and like 2 billion to like just general services, like how they hire them out to to work businesses and stuff stuff like that. But yeah, man, I just wanted to add that on, man, and I'll y'all go ahead and continue, man.
Yeah, well, and keep in mind, like I said, like companies like McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, is hot as using this slave labor. You could easily look up all the companies doing this and then just not mess with them no more. You could, but it is what it is. All right, so Cassidra, I want to get to the positive part before, and because I can show this another one. This is a black fire captain talking about racism in the fire department, but I mean, like, I don't know how much less times we got to learn.
I don't understand why we still don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what's it going to take. Everywhere you look, somebody fighting for their job. Everywhere you look, and we still won't separate. We still won't create our own. We still won't create something that we can work for. We won't build our own tables. That's ridiculous.
And like, think about it, because like, people don't think about this part, like, because we know about the police, but we don't think about the racist paramedics and firefighters.
Exactly.
And how they would leave black people stranded and hurt and dying,
Yes. Didn't we see a man that admitted that before? Didn't we do a show where a fireman left the babies? He said he left 2 kids in the fire.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know what show I was on, but the firefighter, he's, back in the day, I guess he was getting ready to die. So he felt that
the
he
white
needed
dude,
to be, the white dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said, he said, we used to leave them people and burning buildings all the time and children and all that. Yeah.
How could you do that? Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy. And you ain't gonna tell me these not Satan's children. Who does that? Who even thinks about that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's something you don't ever think about. I'm gonna just leave somebody to burn to death.
So, and I want to play this because this is, I guess, a visual demonstration of black people today. I want you and Anthony to see this one. Check this out, yo.
I'm here this morning.
Oh, damn.
Because I want to apologize.
Hold on. I got to go to the first part. Here you go.
Is it just posted?
Okay, you have to see this. This is Finn. We're about to show. Oh my goodness, take a look at him. He's a resident of the Oklahoma City Zoo, and this week the zoo's 8th caretaker took over their Instagram, and we are all loving that they did. And as you can see, Finn was fascinated.
Definitely ready for his close-up.
Kind of looks like you.
Okay, so I want to.
So you see the white girl talking about the monkey looks like the black dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Now listen to this goofiness here, Cassandra. You know what I'm about to show. But this is the boy Black and Anthony. I think you've seen this already, but like this is black people. This is what black people have been sounding like to me lately. You know.
I apologize, not only to my coworker Jason, but to our entire community.
Here go the good white girl, Cassandra. I think I found one.
Something yesterday that was inconsiderate, it was inappropriate, and I hurt people. And I want you to know, I understand how much I hurt you out there and how much I hurt you. I love you.
Like, you didn't hurt me at all.
You have been one of my best friends for the past year and a half, and I would never do anything on purpose to hurt you.
Oh my goodness.
I love our community.
Your ass should never said it.
From the bottom of
You gotta
my heart,
listen
I
to this dude.
apologize for what I said. I know it was wrong, and I am so sorry.
I want to see them tears. Do you see any tears?
Nah, I don't think they got tear dust though, because they always be acting like they crying, but I've never seen a tear
I don't
before.
see no tears though.
I've never seen a tear before. I don't think they have tear dust. Like,
now look at him. I don't even want to hear what he does. It's just gonna make me mad. I'll just madder. Just want to go through the screen and slap him.
Look how fast she turned on now. Negro, do your job now.
I am so sorry. Oh, Alex, thank you very much. And I do accept your apology, and I do appreciate your apology. I want to let everybody out there know that Alex is one of my best friends. I mean,
oh my God. Oh God.
And, you know, it's not as if we see each other here and then we go home.
That's what best friends do.
He's like, I love my white girls. You ain't gonna stand in between me and my white.
Honey, because I'm gonna get some of that later. That's all that is. He sure gonna try. Even looking like a monkey.
He gonna try. His monkey hand pot's gonna be trying later.
Oh my God!
I've told you things. I've
He's told her things.
As a friend.
They probably talked to. So I guess that means they talked about black women together. Like, oh, I hate them.
Yeah, exactly. So he knew he had to do his part because of what some of the stuff he said. That's why she said what she said, because of some things he been saying. That's what that is. You don't be called a nigga if you ain't been saying it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't play me.
Appreciate you and I do love you. All that being said, and Alex will be the first to admit this to you, what she said yesterday was wrong. It cut deep.
So why you ain't say something yesterday then, fool? Why you on here now talking about it was wrong? You should have said it yesterday.
It cut deep for a lot of you in the community. I've heard the phone calls and I've heard the Facebook messages as well. And I guess coming out of this, I want this to be a teachable moment. And that lesson here is that words matter. There's no doubt about that. Changing demographics here in this country. The demographics are changing. We're becoming a more diverse country.
Oh my God, I'm sick of that tune right there. Demographics changing. How they changing? I ain't seen them change yet. I haven't seen them change. Have you? Oh, okay. We could be wrong though, forecast. We could be wrong though.
Oh man, my brother Anthony, what you think about your boy, man? Because this is problematic behavior here.
Yeah, man. Hey, I remember I seen that one before. Yeah, you showed that one before, man. It was funny as hell, man. I think we were saying the same thing then what we said. Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, he definitely want to make a contribution to monkey culture anyway. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. That's crazy though, man.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's talk about something positive, and I'm glad you on here too, because I want to talk about something positive, and then also historical positive stuff. Because you know, we talked about the Black Project 2025, you know, and she didn't really say nothing, but she brought it back up, so fair enough, you know. I ain't listened to this, so I'll play this. What this dude is saying, I don't know
why the black media hasn't necessarily jumped on. Specifically, we're talking about Black Project 2025, and why haven't we seen the sort of engagement that you would hope that such a well thought out viral movement would have galvanized more people, would have engaged more people, and it gotten more momentum to move forward. We are a little frustrated that we aren't seeing the engagement from the larger, more established Black media companies. And what we're talking about is seeing how can we connect those? How can we link those Black media groups together in a way that supports one another, that supports the vision of one group? It recognizing that maybe this is her time right now. Maybe some people are just protecting their turf, like, and we've kind of hit on it a little bit. There are people that are maybe in it for maybe not quite the right reasons. So we definitely need to be aware of that. All skin folk ain't kin folk, and we know that. But that's no excuse for us to disengage when we see something that's got real potential to move us forward. We have to get behind it.
So yeah, what you think about that?
And that's true. That's very true. I've seen them. I'm actually on the one of the moderators there, and we pretty much just have been picking and choosing, and making sure that the right people are. It's a good thing so far. What I'm seeing is very good. It's you just pretty much making sure that the right people are being appointed, and the right people are coming through. But it's really good, and I wish the Black media like Phil and Vicky and Professor Truth and them would take on that and really look at it and commentate on it, because for what I'm seeing, it's really a good movement. They want to bring Black folk and pool your money together on building schools, supermarkets. So it's a great thing right now. So it's really good to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's what's up. Are you a moderator over there?
I am. Yeah, moderator over there. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I love it. Mm-hmm. That ain't the only group. It's another group that's on TikTok, and hers is called something different though. Hers is a little different, but she has like a phone book of all of the Black businesses in the just all over, like in Virginia, North Carolina. So she has a phone book and putting that book together. And that way you'll be able to look at this book to see what's in the area, what's close by, and it'll be actually a website that you can actually go to. So with Black folk coming up, we waking up, we're doing something new, something that's not been done. It's been done before, but it's different now. It's different. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think it's something. It's time. It's time for us to come together and you see a lot more Black-owned businesses, just like the lady with the school that you was showing last week, and the airplane, the flyer, the school that's flying out. That's some good stuff. We need to really support those businesses, because it's not being supported by. You know what I'm saying? We really have to support stuff like that.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, we got to support each other. We all we got at the end of the day.
That's because won't nobody else support us. Nobody else will support our businesses. We support everybody else's, but they never come over and support yours.
Yeah. Well, that ice is colder, so. But yeah, what you think about that, Anthony?
Yeah, man, I agree 100% with Sister Cassidra, man. And yeah, it's a great thing, man. We need to do more of it. And I think that we doing more of it than a lot of people know. I think a lot of Black people are waking up, all over, not just here, but abroad too, man. Especially on the continent. I think we coming, man. We ain't there yet where we want to be, but we on our way, and I think it's a good thing, man. It's a great thing.
Oh yeah, you see more, like you said, Anthony. A lot more Black in Africa. A lot of more of those countries are coming together, and they're kicking out the French now. It's up to 6 countries now. It's up to 6. So I'm like, come on, Africa, I'm rooting for you. But that Nigeria got some issues. That dude right there with Nigeria, he let Bill Gates come in there and give those babies shots, and he killed a lot of those babies, or either made them deform. So Bill Gates is having a field day with Nigeria over there, giving them baby shots, and he's killed several. Yeah, but the president has allowed it. He got paid. He sold his people out. So Nigeria's going to have to handle that president. Well, however you do it, jungle justice or whatever. A lot of babies have been, offered up to Bill Gates, and he tried it in Kenya, but Kenya stopped it. They said, "Nope, you're not coming in here doing that." So that's a good thing. So you got some people that are woke, a lot more than we think. So a lot more countries. I'm looking for a lot more countries to kick out the French because people don't understand how close it is to us getting out of we. And I don't care what nobody said. We are going to have to leave America so that God can deal with so He can deal with them, whether you know it or not. And I rest my mic.
Yeah, definitely. And before we get off, I want to show y'all. I'll just do this quick one. I want to show you a couple things and get y'all opinions on it. Because we was talking about abolitionists, but every time we think about abolitionists, you want to have a white savior in place. And really, most of them, if not all, was like black people doing everything that they could to help each other and like really free themselves and their own families. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same cycle over and over. You know what I'm saying? If like you look at history, you'll see like we keep doing the same things over and over, the same arguments over and over. It doesn't really make sense to why we still do it, but anyway, check this.
Frederick Douglass and Henry Highland Garnett, both fugitive slaves from Maryland, led opposing camps on the question of whether violent slave uprisings were necessary in advancing the abolitionist cause.
Douglass takes the position that you have to fight it within the American constitutional system. Garnett holds the view that you must strike a...
As this white liberal, what you think his side he gonna be on? See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not gonna go there.
Well, violence must be used.
We'll go slow.
Garnett, a Presbyterian minister, delivered what was later known as the call to rebellion.
It is your solemn and imperative duty to use every means.
All right, so this is, I won't start it again, but this is the call to rebellion that this brother made, and listen to what he's saying.
It is your solemn and imperative duty to use every means, both moral, intellectual, and physical, that promise success. The pharaohs are on both sides of the blood-red waters. Brethren, arise, arise, strike for your lives and liberties. Rather die free men than live to be slaves. Henry Highland Garnett challenges the use of the story because Exodus offers, hope. Pharaoh drowns in the Red Sea. There's a wandering in the wilderness, but one enters the promised land. What Garnett says is Pharaoh is on both sides of the blood-red waters. And that's an attempt to interrupt an interpretation of the story that is awaiting God's intervention. We can't wait to get on the other side for freedom, because there's no other side.
Douglass, with a mix of conviction and political pragmatism that would make him the most influential black leader of the century, surmised that Garnett's suggestions would antagonize Northern black allies, ultimately bringing harm to the abolition movement.
Don't want to upset white people.
And the convention finally voted on whether to publish Garnett's address. Garnett lost, but only by one vote. Soon, Congress would appease the South by passing the Fugitive Slave Act.
All right, so when it came to black people, see, Frederick Douglass was like, no, we don't want to upset our white allies, you know what I'm saying, by fighting for revolution and freedom, you know what I'm saying? And this is not to make it about them personally, but this brother Henry Garnett was saying, like, look, the only way, there is no other side. Like, we can't wait for freedom. We have to take it into our own hands and do what we have to do, And then others was like, oh, no, we have to face political and, vote blue no matter who, or I guess whatever color they was back then. But anyway, Cassidra, what you think about that?
I tell you. I don't know what, it's just, It's a lot. Sometimes you just, they know what to do. So what? I don't know. Sometimes you just don't even know what to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
You get so tired of talking and saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah. We've been saying it for like hundreds of years,
Exactly. When we gonna get it? When? When?
My brother Anthony, I know you know a lot about this. Probably, I would put money that you know a lot about this. What you think about that whole thing?
Well, man, studying that brother, man, Henry Highland Garnett, he's one of my biggest heroes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm like I said, it's sometimes you almost at a loss for words with some of these old militant integrations Negroes, man. And Frederick Douglass was the blueprint. What I'm saying, and not only did Henry Highland Garnett, hold a stance that he had about, hey, you need to pick up that hatchet and crack him in the head with it. He also was for black people need to get the hell out of here, like what Cassidra always say. He was for that. He was for black people, for us having our own independent areas here, like finding our own communities here and establishing ourselves outside of America. They had a thing called a colonization thing that was going on then. Not the American Colonization Society, but it was a black thing called that was for colonization, where black people would move to parts of like Central America, South America, or even back to the continent because they felt like they couldn't get no justice here, they couldn't get their human rights here, and so a lot of them, they had like a Back to Africa movement, or the settling in other parts of the hemisphere. He was for that 100%. As a matter of fact, he died in Liberia. He moved back to Africa. But that brother, and he was not the only one for cash. Remember David Walker?
Yeah.
The brother David Walker, who had the author of Walker's Appeal. Well, he was saying, slaves, crack your master in the head, kill him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got a right to kill him.
Yep.
The killer, man, that been oppressing you and enslaving you and raping your children, raping, everything. He said kill him. So Henry Highland Garnett, he said kill him. David Walker said kill him. Martin Robertson Delaney said kill him. And Frederick Douglass was friends with all of those guys, with Henry Highland Garnett and Martin Robertson Delaney. But where he fell out was that they was uncompromising about. They said there ain't no good white folks.
Mm-hmm.
No white folks. We ain't for that good white folks shit. They were saying we need to kill them to get out from under them, and we need to have our own. And Frederick Douglass hated that. He hated that. You know what? Because Frederick Douglass was a mixed race man. And you know what Dr. Clark said about the mixed race people, man? They don't know where they Lord, they go to their father or mother.
Yeah. You can't even include them in anything because you can't trust them. Period. You can't trust those mixed race people because they, especially your mom, your mom black, your daddy but white. You on both sides. You can't trust them.
All right. And
hey, 4K, got to say one thing before you go move forward.
Go ahead.
It kills me sometimes when our brothers and sisters, when we talk about that, like the abolitionist movement, okay, yeah, you had a couple of white folks who was doing some shit, who was in there too. But this was a black-led movement, man. It was us. It was driven by us, by our people, man. We was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I think of what's that fool name? The British one, who they said the one when they abolished slavery, the one they love to talk about. You know which one I'm talking about, forecast? The white man, the Englishman.
John Brown.
No, from Britain, the white man who say, when the British abolished the slave trade. I can't think his name right now because he's well known. And he was supposed to be the one that abolished pushed the abolishment of the slave trade. But that same hunk, he was from Britain, a British white man. When the British abolished the slave trade in 1807.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. But look here, that same white man who abolished the slave trade, the British slave trade, when the Haitians who had really abolished slavery before he did, when they was killing all them damn white folks in Haiti, you know what he said? He criticized them and said they should be re-enslaved because they killed their white masters. and they were just around killing white. They killed all the white people. So he was saying because of, for them doing that, they should be re-enslaved. The same one who abolished the slave trade, because he wanted the slave trade to end, but he didn't want black people to be free.
You talking about that William guy? William.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Cassandra. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Wilberforce, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, yeah, I didn't know that one. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'd be trying to say about it's like even when they still want you to be subject to them and pay them taxes, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, and the thing about Henry Highland Garnett, like you said, he lost, you know what I'm saying, the vote between black people, because I mean, like, believe it or not, we was fighting and arguing about whether we should go back to Africa then and before his time and after his time, to this very day, we've been fighting whether we should go back and forth,
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, a whole lot of black folk that went up, they left, they're gone, they're there now. So I totally would move tomorrow if I had the money to do it. I totally would be out.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Facts. Shouts out to Koku in the building. He said Grainville.
Grainville. Okay. Well, I've seen him too, but I thought it was more or less that William person though.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Hey, full case, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna look the name up and then I'm gonna come back.
All right.
But I think if I'm not mistaken, it is the William person. William somebody. Will first or Will Force. I can't even pronounce his name.
So all right, this is another one. Hopefully he's listening. This is another one I guess.
Seldom mentioned are the blacks who worked and fought for freedom before the Civil War. William Cooper Nell was such a person. Born in 1816, Nell worked for the inclusion of blacks in public schools and other public places, writing for the abolitionist newspapers, The Liberator, and Frederick Douglass's North Star. Between 1847 and 1851, he worked tirelessly helping publicize the cruelty of enslavement. In the early 1840s, Nell helped found the New England Freedom Association, an all-black organization that helped fugitive enslaved people find food, clothing, and a place to live when they arrived in the free states of the North through the Underground Railroad. A preserver of history, he organized the first memorial celebration of the 1776 freedom fighter Crispus Attucks at Faneuil Hall. He also worked to have blacks accepted as soldiers in the Union Army. Courageous journalist, publisher, author, historian, and
yeah. So
I ain't agreeing with that one.
And listen, and to be fair, right? I'll say this, right? It's hard to give black people a pass after like 1700, right? Because they was doing the same thing over and over, right? So as far as fighting to be a part of their army is, I don't know if I would have did it myself even back then at the time, but I can see why they was like, okay, if we do this, then white folk will accept us and we'll be free. But we have like another 200 years of evidence otherwise. So, we coming from a different perspective, But the thing about, I would say positive at the time, right? The brother created organizations to help black people get food, clothing, and shelter, you know what I'm saying, for when they ran away and all type of stuff, Yo, Anthony, you there? All right. But anyway, I'll play this other last one, and if you jump on here, I'm not sure which one.
More than anything, they feared an uprising of the people they held in bondage.
All right, it's the last one, Cassidra.
In the years before the Civil War, terror often gripped white Americans in the South. More than anything, they feared an uprising of the people they held in bondage. The Knights of Liberty, a top-secret, all-black militant organization, prepared to justify their fears by launching the largest enslaved rebellion.
Koku said Wilbur William Wilberforce was one of them too.
Oh yeah, well I couldn't even say it. I couldn't even think of that name.
Yeah, that the college is named after.
Wow.
I don't know if it is or not, but
more than anything, they feared an uprising of the people they held in bondage. The Knights of Liberty, a top secret, all black militant organization, prepared to justify their fears by launching the largest enslaved rebellion in American history. But before they could revolt, secret orders called them off. I'm Joel Cook, and this is Rogue History. Convened a secret meeting in St. Louis, Missouri to, as he would put it, prepare for business. His plan called for the infiltration of the southern states to recruit and train men who were courageous, patient, temperate, and possessed of sound common sense. Recruits were required to take an oath of secrecy until death. After 10 years of training, these Knights of Liberty would launch a war on slavery. The participants in this St. Louis meeting, made up of Dixon and 11 trusted friends, would come to be known as the Order of 12. These 12 men spread out across the South to establish the Knights of Liberty. But even as they chipped away at this 10-year plan, they made an immediate impact on the Underground Railroad. In a 1901 Denver Post interview, Dixon stated that the Knights operated a network capable of moving freedom seekers all across the United States. Disguise was often part of their success. In one case, Dixon rescued a mother and daughter from Louisiana by coordinating tailors and barbers to disguise them as sailors. A fellow Knight of Liberty snuck them onto a steamboat as part of the crew, and they successfully made their way to freedom in Canada. In the same interview, Dixon said that the Knights of Liberty had an unbreakable telegraph code that remains hidden to this day. But we do have evidence of coded language from other underground resistance groups who operated during the same time period. The African Mysteries, a group based in Detroit, Michigan, communicated with freedom seekers through what we would know today as call signs. One nonverbal signal required a person to touch the knuckle of their right index finger to the knuckle of their left. The other person would respond by reversing the signal left to right to confirm that they were also part of the organization. But while groups like the African Mysteries were focused on escaping from the South, the Knights of Liberty wanted to seize land for Black people in the South. The plan was to attack Atlanta and form a stronghold of Black resistance. Moses Dixon's plans for a separatist state were rooted in life experience. His parents were born into slavery, and as a boy, he survived race riots in Cincinnati intended to drive Black people out of the city. He learned that Black liberation was needed by any means necessary, and would come to know.
And consider, I want to talk about these white saviors because, like, all of these abolitionist areas, I wanted to show what they was doing to Black people because you got no damn friends, you know.
Yeah, I think because too many times Black folk think that because they was helping, they was friends. Those are not friends. I don't care what they was doing.
Most of the time, it was those poor white trash that was fighting blaming Black people. Oh, we can't get no jobs. Well, if you think about it, Black people were the more skilled laborers, and we was working for like a quarter of what they was making. So of course, Black people was getting the quote unquote jobs, you know, which was actually like slave labor and stuff like that, you know. Which brings us to the local politics to this day. You know, it's not that Mexicans make work harder; they work cheaper. You know, what I'm saying?
Right. It has nothing to do with working harder. It's what they can pay them compared to what they can pay you.
Exactly.
Some of the jobs we don't want to do anyway.
Right. And it's the same thing. You know, it's just like back then, right? They would have like all of them poor white people and the so-called, they would try to run Black people out of the city because they was the most, they was the ones actually doing the killing. You know what I'm saying? If you think like, but
because Massa hired them to do it. Those rich white men hired them to do that, trying to get him up on Black folk, made them feel like they were higher than Black people. But for real, they didn't like them either. They were just using them to keep the peace.
Right. All right, let me finish this.
Exactly what that meant when he lived through Nat Turner's rebellion. On August 21st, 1831, Turner and at least 40 compatriots launched a bid to end slavery by attacking several plantations in Southampton County, Virginia. While it was never truly clear what Turner's plan was, the rebels executed 55 people before being stopped by state and federal militias. Black people suffered the consequences of the rebellion, with hundreds being beaten and murdered across the South. Slave patrols, formed by state and local militias, began an early version of stop and frisk policing, and laws known as slave codes prevented enslaved people from gathering in large numbers, traveling without permission, or testifying in court. None of this was lost on the Knights of Liberty as they prepared for their own revolution. In discussing the secrecy needed for them to succeed, Moses Dixon wrote, "We know of the failure of Nat Turner and others. Previous rebellion leaders struggled with stealth and planned for just weeks or months without building a real infrastructure to support their operations. Dixon gambled that a large army with 10 years of training gave them a real chance. Now, they just needed funding. To raise money for his secret plan, Dixon appealed to sympathetic abolitionists in the North and the South. They willingly donated thousands to Dixon's Underground Railroad work, unaware that they were funding a revolution. By 1856, they had everything they needed to launch their...
See, the brother was like, oh no, this for the Underground Railroad, but really he was like trying to get the guns and all the stuff he needed, you know?
Yeah.
According to what he was saying, you know.
War against slavery. But when the time finally came, they didn't strike. As Moses Dixon surveyed the landscape, it became clear to him that a civil war was coming, whether the Knights...
See, this is where I'm going to stop it, all right? Because he planned for 10 years and then called the whole thing off because of the Civil War, right? And that's a whole nother thing in history that we have to go talk, like, because the Civil War was not about freeing Black people, but we had this hope, like, you know, well, you know, white folk died to free us. Did they really? Is that what happened?
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But they never have the whole story.
Yeah, so he called it off and then encouraged Black people to fight for the Union Army. But now we know though, right? Because okay, you can see maybe in the 1800s they'd be like, all right, we have the Civil War and then we'll be equal. Maybe, okay, you know, but now we know that the Union was just as bad as the Confederate, you know, because look at the massacres. If you look at the Ebenezer Creek massacre, if you don't believe me, look that up, you know, which is where it comes to like that 40 acres and a mule is like a thing that happens afterwards. But a lot of the massacres that, or, you know, everybody know about the Devil's Punch Bowl with the Union soldiers and a lot of different kind of massacres and stuff like that. But this is us having this knowledge of that all of them are the same. They all have this Neanderthal gene, you know, that they are the same. You know what I'm saying? I know that we like to pretend or act like they're not, but they are all the same. So, but yeah, we're going to stop there. My brother Anthony. Yeah. My brother Anthony, yo, you fine? You did you hear it? What we was talking about?
Yeah, man, I heard most of it. I heard most of it, man. But yeah. Hey, could you run back a few minutes of it, man? Because I missed some part of it.
Well, we was just talking. You know about Moses Dixon, right? And the Knights of Liberty.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we was talking about how he planned the insurrection, and he planned for 10 years, and then he called it off after because he thought the Civil War was gonna happen. But the brother was saying he was trying to get land and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so.
I heard of him, man. Yeah, that was a bad brother, man. You know, he had a lot of courage, man. I was you know, and to add on to it, if I may a little bit. Okay, right here, it was a brother who lived here in Shreveport. Well, he was from Georgia. He was born enslaved in Georgia. And you know, the old slave monsters moved to Louisiana. And when he was about 8 years old. But anyway, when he became a grown man, he freed himself. I think he ran away. He freed himself. He ran away or he bought his freedom. And then he bought his wife's freedom. But anyway, he became like a local, like a civil rights leader here in Shreveport. And like, you know, things were so bad that as it was everywhere. But you know, like here in Caddo Parish, it was known as Bloody Caddo Parish. Because you know, they had these things called White Leagues and all these different names, these different factions of the Ku Klux Klan. You know, the groups that came after the Klan, what they mostly call like white leagues and stuff like that. But anyway, he and some other brothers had got together and they formed an organization called the Committee. This was around like 1870. And like at their height, they got up to like, they had like about 98,000 members. And like what they did, they went out across the South, you know, across Louisiana, Mississippi, all the places, you know, trying to find out the conditions, you know, because slavery had officially ended, but you know, they still had, that was the beginning of that convict lease shit, you know, the second slavery. But what he did, they was going around checking on the conditions of black people everywhere, man. You know, they was trying to see how our people was as a group. And they was like putting pressure on the local government and on the government in Washington. Hey man, y'all gotta come do something about that. You know, they had that mentality because you know, you thought, hell, the Union won, they on our side, you know, when they found out they ain't on your side. But anyway, he found an organization. It was just it was like a fraternal, it was a black thing, you know, just for black people. And they came up with, hey, you know, we gotta start moving our people out. He's the one who like kicked off the Exodus movement. Hey, you know, we got to get our people up out of this Mississippi and Louisiana, these places, you know, go up here and buy some land up in Kansas, up in the Midwest and places like that. And eventually he got into the Back to Africa movement. But his name was Henry Adams, man. You know, he did some of the same stuff that brother did.
Okay, I don't think I heard about him. I gotta look him up. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, though, I definitely appreciate y'all. This was definitely a great one. Cassidra, you want to say anything, like just to wrap everything up?
Just to wrap everything up, you know what? We should know them by now. There's no excuse for what we see and what's going on right now. We ought to know the enemy. We've been dealing with them for so long. How are we still in this position? How are we still fighting the same stuff from since forever? You understand what I'm saying? It's never changed. It's never gotten better. It's getting worse if we really look at it because every day is something in the news. Bring up one more point about, isn't it something, Anthony, going down, or somebody did something earlier in Baton Rouge or something? Didn't a car or something? What was that about?
Yeah, consider those in New Orleans, man. You know, they still hush mouth about it. They say it's a terrorist attack. You know, I don't know what that means. But the guy, he drove the car into a crowd of people down in New Orleans, man. It, like killed by like 10 people, man.
Yeah, and of course he was white, right?
I don't know. They hadn't released his picture yet.
Trust me, he white. If they ain't released the picture, he white. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they killed like 10 people and ended about 35 people. I think he had some kind of explosive device or something too. But yeah, you know, they ended up killing his ass too though.
Yeah, because he shot a couple cops too, didn't he? He didn't kill them, but they're in critical condition. But he shot a couple of cops. That's why that's why they killed him.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was a great show. Thank you for the opportunity, as usual. You always do a great job when you bring up that history. I love it.
No, yeah, definitely. You always be going in. I definitely appreciate you for coming on here and for your time. You know, Anthony, you want to say something before we wrap it up?
Yeah, man. I just say, man, it was a great show, man. I enjoyed being here on the show with y'all, man. You and Cassidra, man, and you know, peace and happy Kwanzaa and happy New Year for y'all, man.
Yeah, you too, my brother. You too. You know, and you know, my last words. You know, I was gonna show y'all this, but I don't think it's gonna be good enough. But this dude, supposedly had knocked this dude out. You want to see it? Consider it's like a minute.
Sure.
Let's see how quick I fucking catch you real quick. Come on, bro. You don't want to do that, bro. You don't want that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. No, bro. I'm never the one that fucking... Don't say nothing, bro. Just let him be. Let him be. Let's see how quick you are. See how quick you are.
Yeah, someone's gonna set him straight. Don't worry about that. Karma's gonna catch up to his ass. Don't worry about that. Don't get banned from a fucking good bar.
You see how long this is going on. I can't even fast forward it.
Gobble black power, that boy.
Don't let him find you.
He's a grown ass man.
He out of it. Because have you seen that?
Man, that's crazy. I love it. I love it. Now that's my favorite right there. That video right there is just my all time. It's just my all time.
All right, this be the last words right here.
Fine. I'll say something. You people. You're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us. And I hope that happens very soon.
Facts, all facts. So shouts out to my brother Anthony for coming through. I appreciate you, brother, for hopping on. You know, thank you, Cassidra, for your time. Y'all support Realm in the Bush and her organization and everything she's doing. Y'all see their Cash App. Y'all send her whatever because she's doing the work and she's about it. She ain't just talking about it. She is about it. You know. So shouts out to you, Cassidra. Thank you. You know, as always. Shouts out to Koku in the building and Raw in the building. And to the rest of y'all that is listening and not saying much, you know, shouts out to y'all too. And as always, we have got to start standing for something or we're going to keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.